Alright people, let's go ahead and now revise the chart of job work. Sir, job work, as the name says, it is treatment or process on another person's good. If I am doing job work, and job work as per section number 71A, schedule 2. Sir, it is told that treatment or process on another person's good is always a supply of service. Right everyone? Sir, job work, what are we going to learn? When we are going to learn job work, we will learn section number 19, which says, sir, that you can go ahead and take the ITC when you are sending the goods for job work. Section number 143, which will talk about the procedures for sending to job work. Section number, nahi baba, rule number 45, which will talk about job work challan. Everyone, over here, we went ahead and started learning GST with goods and service. Goods and service has to be supplied. Supply can be interstate or supply can be intrastate. Interstate supply, what will happen? IGST will be levied. Intrastate, CGST will be levied. Once GST is levied, it has to be collected and paid by a taxable person. He will have to go ahead and calculate GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. Once you know the value, you will prepare tax invoice, credit note, debit note, and delivery challan, and you will send the goods to the other person with the help of e-way bill. But before that, you will maintain your accounts and record, and then you will send the goods to the other person with the help of e-way bill. Government will tell you, sir, your liability to pay GST has come. Your liability comes at the time of supply. For an example, you have to pay 1000 rupees. First, you will go ahead and use your input tax credit, and then you will go ahead and make the payment. Attached with the chapter of input tax credit is the chapter of job work, which is basically section number 19. Right everyone? Section number 19 is simple. It says that when you are sending the goods for job work, you can take the ITC. But sir, you should receive it back within 1 year. Capital goods within 3 years. Section number 143, job work procedure, and rule number 45, conditions and restrictions for sending the goods for job work. Everyone, over here to your job worker chart. Job work means treatment or process on another person's goods. Now, to start with job work, there will be always a principal. Principal will go ahead and buy some input and capital goods. For an example, principal is going to get jeans pant made. To make the jeans pant, he went ahead and bought clothes and might be a machine. First of all, section number 19 says, if you are going to send these capital goods and inputs for job work, you can go ahead and take the ITC. Then when you are sending the goods for job work, sending is never a supply. When you are sending it for job work, just follow the procedures told in section number 143, which talks about, sir, job worker procedure. When you are sending for job work, you can send without payment of tax, but the condition is you should have a delivery challan. As per rule number 45, it is known as a job work challan. Along with that, you should also go online and give an intimation, which is GST ITC 04. GST ITC 04, always remember, is to be filed, sir, for all the goods you have sent to job work, received from the job work, sir, sent by one job worker to another job worker, and then received it back. All those details has to be given in ITC 04, and it is to be filed for all the details regarding a specified period. Always remember, if your turnover is greater than 5 crore or your turnover is up to 5 crore means you are a small person, government is telling you will file annually the intimation, which is by 25th of April. But if your turnover is greater than 5 crore, you will file the intimation half yearly. April to September के लिए by 25th October and October to March के लिए by 25th of April. Right everyone? So sir, whenever I am going ahead and buying some input and capital goods to send it for job work, I can take the ITC. But sir, when I am sending it, I have to go ahead and follow the procedure under section number 143, which says I have to raise a job work challan plus half yearly or annually intimation has to be given, and also e-way bill, electronic way bill, because on the way department officer will stop you. E-way bill ka requirement, always remember, if you are sending the goods for job work intrastate, then it is always when consignment value is greater than 50,000. But if you are sending it interstate, then e-way bill ka requirement is mandatory. Now, the job worker who has gone ahead and received it, he will go ahead and do the job work. Now, job worker can be a registered person if his turnover has exceeded 20 lakh or 10 lakh. But job worker can be unregistered if his turnover is less than 20 lakhs or 10 lakh. Right, everyone? Now, job worker who is there, for him, the registration requirement is section number 22 says 20 lakh or 10 lakh. Section number 24 went ahead and told interstate supplier of service has to take compulsory registration. But section number 24, read with section number 22, told that job worker is exempted up to 20 lakh, 10 lakh, and hence, whether intra or inter, job worker has to take registration only when he crosses 20 lakh or 10 lakh. If he is a job worker who is registered, he will go ahead and give me an invoice where he will go ahead and charge me GST on the supply of service. If he is an unregistered person, he will not go ahead and charge me any GST. He will just give a commercial bill. If he is a registered job worker, whatever inputs he is going ahead and buying, all the input services and capital goods, he can go ahead and take the ITC, and then he will go ahead and give me an invoice charging GST. Sir, can the goods directly go to the job worker? Yes, Baba, it can be billed to you and shipped directly to the job worker. Whenever it is shipped directly to the job worker, it is going directly to the job worker. Then the job goods will move along with a copy of the invoice, plus job worker name should be mentioned in the consignee, job worker name and address in the consignee. And sir, you should make one delivery challan and send it to the job worker directly. Right, everyone? Job worker challan has to be sent by you directly to the job worker. Then, sir, can I import the goods and directly send it for job work? Yes, Baba, you can import the goods and directly send it for job work. In this scenario, goods can move along with copy of the bill of entry plus e-way bill also you will go ahead and raise, and delivery challan you will go ahead and send it directly to the job worker. Once the job worker receives the goods, he should do the job work and return it back to you within 1 year or 3 years in case of capital goods. Inputs within 1 year, capital goods within 3 years. If it can't return within 1 year, 3 years, extension can be given by the commissioner. You can take an extension of 1 year or 2 years in case of capital goods. If, sir, supposingly there is no extension and goods are not received back within 1 year or 3 years, 1 year from the same date of dispatch, and 3 years, 1 year from the date of dispatch, or 1 year or 3 years from the date of dispatch, or 1 year or 3 years from the date of direct receipt. It should be received back within 1 year or 3 years. If not received back from 1 year or 3 years from the date of dispatch or direct receipt by the job worker, then it will be deemed as supply. Once that 1 year or 3 years gets over, it will be deemed as supply. It means you have to go ahead and raise a tax invoice. Principal has to go ahead and raise a tax invoice. Principal has to go ahead and pay the tax as if the goods were not sent for job work before 1 year, as if it was supplied before 1 year, and I am paying the tax now. So you have to pay along with interest at the rate of 18%. Capital goods, if they are not received back within 1 year or if they are not received back within 3 years, it will be deemed that once 3 years gets over, next day it will be deemed that it is supplied. You have to raise tax invoice as if the goods were, capital goods were not sent. It was supplied before 3 years, and you will have to pay tax along with interest at the rate of 18%. Right, everyone? Always remember, if it is not received back within 3 years or 1 year in case of input, in 1 year, capital goods 3 years from the date it was sent out, principal to go ahead and raise the invoice, he has to declare in GSTR1 and pay the tax along with interest at the rate of 18%. Always remember one thing, there is an exception. Capital goods which are mold, dies, eggs, fixtures, etc. need not be received back within 3 years. There is no problem at all. There is no time limit to go ahead and receive it back within 3 years. Right, sir? Point is clear. Now, once the goods have gone for job work, sir, can I go ahead and directly supply from the job worker premises? Yes, it will be a supply of the principal. Sir, principal to make the invoice always include in the turnover of the principal. You can directly supply inputs within 3 years and capital goods within inputs within 1 year and capital goods within 3 years. But condition is that the job worker has to be registered or job worker ka premise has to be declared as additional place of business. However, declaring job worker's premises as additional place of business is not required if the goods are notified by the commissioner. Sir, always remember, when the goods are supplied from the job worker premises directly, principal to raise the invoice, time of supply, value of supply, place of supply to be determined in the hands of the principal. Sir, if the job worker is unregistered, can principal go ahead and declare his place of additional place of business? Yes, if it is within the same state, he can declare additional place of business and supply from his premises. But if job worker is not within the same state, then it is not possible to go ahead and declare additional place of business. Hence, tell the job worker to take registration. Only then you can supply from his premises. If job worker doesn't take registration, within the bag, the goods after job work, and then only you can go ahead and supply. Always remember, once the principal receives the goods back and then also supplies, it is always a supply of goods. Can I go ahead, everyone? Yes, sir. Sir, can the goods go from one job worker to another job worker? Job worker number 1 to job worker number 2? Yes, Baba. Goods can go from one job worker to another job worker to another job worker, no problem. Always remember, when the goods are going from one job worker to another job worker, principal will make the delivery challan or job worker will go ahead and make the delivery challan. Sir, alternatively, the old delivery challan which was given by the principal to the job worker then can also be endorsed, but endorsement is not possible if it goods are sent in piecemeal. Then in that scenario, new delivery challan is required, that is the job work challan is required. Either principal will make or the job worker will make. Are we clear, everyone? Now, once the job worker receives it over here, he will go ahead and supply it. Now, in this scenario, he will go ahead and do the job work, and principal can directly supply from this job worker ka premise also. But again, it will be a supply of the principal to go ahead and raise the invoice, principal to go ahead and pay the tax, time of supply, value of supply, place of supply, all the provision applicable in the hands of the principal. Sir, can the goods directly go from his premises also? Yes, Baba. In that scenario also, he should be registered, or his place has to be declared as additional place of business. Only then you can directly go ahead and supply from here. Are we clear, everyone? Yes, sir. Principal to make the invoice and pay tax. Sir, aggregate turnover of the principal made, this supply will be included, and job worker should be registered, or his place has to be declared as additional place of business. Sir, can I go ahead and export from here? Yes, Baba, you can go ahead and export from here, or you can go ahead and export from the first job worker ka premise also. Always remember, exporting ka case mein also, principal has to go ahead and raise the invoice. Yes, everyone. Either it is an export from job worker number 1 ka premise or job worker number 2 ka premise. Always it will be an export of the principal to go ahead and give LUT or bond, principal to pay IGST if required, principal to raise the invoice, but condition is job worker has to be registered or job worker place has to be declared as the additional place of business. Sir, export within 1 year, 3 years should happen. Sir, LUT or bond will be given by the principal, or IGST payment also by the principal. Job worker has to be registered or his place has to be declared as additional place of business, and this export will be a supply of the principal. One point you have to always remember is keeping of books of account relating to job work is the duty of the principal. It is always the duty of the principal. Sir, job worker case may either job worker number 1 or job worker number 2, if there is any waste which is generated during the job work, what will happen to the waste? Waste ka case may always remember, waste ka case which is there, if job worker is registered on the waste, job worker will pay the GST. If job worker is unregistered, principal has to pay the GST. The only benefit in case of waste is you don't have to go ahead and get the waste back to your premises. Even if job worker is unregistered, you don't have to go ahead and declare his place as additional place of business. Principal can directly sell the waste from job worker premises and pay the GST. In case of waste or scrap, no need to declare job worker premises as additional place of business. This chapter is a B graded chapter, 3 to 4 mark. They can go ahead and ask in the exam. Sir, what can they go ahead and ask? Number one thing they can go ahead and ask, with input and capital goods, when they are sent, within how much time it has to come back? 1 year or 3 years? Can there be an extension? Yes, commissioner can give 1 year or 2 years. Sir, can it be directly supplied? Yes, 1 year or 3 years it can be directly supplied or exported, provided the job worker is registered or place has been declared as the additional place of business, and it will be a turnover of the principal. Time of supply, value of supply, place of supply in the hands of the principal. Sir, what is the treatment of waste or scrap? Waste or scrap ka case may always remember, job worker is registered, job worker pays the GST, job worker is unregistered, principal pays the GST. They can also go ahead and ask you about the intimation, quarterly intimation. Earlier it was there, but for your May and November now. November exam ke liye always remember one thing. Sir, what is the limit now? If your turnover is up to 5 crore, you are a small person ka case mein annually by 25th of April. Sir, otherwise it is half yearly, April to September ke liye 25th October, or October to March it is 25th of April. Right, everyone? I think that should be more than enough. I will go ahead and close my quick revision on the chapter of job worker over here. Congratulations, people.